The first time that William Daley was about to be introduced to the nation by a president who was appointing him to a very senior job, the announcement ended with a clatter, with a lot of hullabaloo and ruckus and actual falling down. The man fainted.
Riding in the DC-3, 50 years old without windows. I won't do it again. To those on my congressional staff, those that accompany me on these.
I think he's fine. He fainted.
He was indeed okay. That was 1996. President Bill Clinton was announcing Bill Daley as the nation's next Commerce Secretary, and down he went. Today, President Obama introduced Mr. Daley as the next White House Chief of Staff. Nobody fainted, but if you did hear a thump early this afternoon when this choice was being announced, it might have been the president's base. Liberals across the country banging their heads against the wall as they tried to comprehend this choice. Bill Daley is, of course, a part of the famous Daley family of Chicago. His father was mayor of Chicago for 21 years. His brother is the current mayor and has been since 1989. Last year in a New York Times interview, Mr. Daley said this about President Obama's signature policy achievement, health care reform. Quote, they, being President Obama and the Democrats, they miscalculated on health care. The election of '08 sent a message that after 30 years of center-right governing, we had moved to center-left. Not left. Mr. Daley also opposed the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You remember when the Chamber of Commerce came out against reforming Wall Street before that whole debate even got started? Mr. Daley signed on to that for the Chamber. As our friend Ezra Klein wrote about today at the Washington Post, Mr. Daley, quote, led the Chamber of Commerce's effort to loosen the post-Enron regulations on the accounting and auditing professions. Bill Daley is a former hedge fund manager, a very accomplished business lobbyist, and a top executive at J.P. Morgan Chase. Ooh, a banker and a lobbyist. Smells like change. Bill Daley is not a politician himself. He is known for pushing Democrats toward business interests and toward what was once known as the right and is now called the center. It is entirely possible that the White House has picked Mr. Daley as the new chief of staff in order to simply aggravate liberals, in order to annoy the base. They call it punching the hippie. Well, they don't call it punching the hippie, but that's what I call it. Specifically, making the left mad in order to make the president himself look more centrist. It is a time-honored tradition for Democrats to purposely punch the hippie, to aggravate their base in order to impress people who will likely never vote for them anyway. It is just how Democrats roll. But if this isn't that, if this is more substantive, if this isn't just intended to make liberals bang their heads against a wall, if there is something that Bill Daley brings to the table here that is going to help the White House get done what it thinks it needs to get done, what is it?